Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Hope all of you guys had a good Christmas. I think today we're going to get back on that Fury. My parts have been trickling in. I think I got enough to actually get something done today. So let's move a few things around. Normally I don't film all the moving stuff around, but it's something that a lot of you guys can relate to. How many of you guys, leave me a comment, can relate to having to constantly shuffle cars around every time you want to bring every time you need to work on something? You got to move something out, move something else back in. So anyway, that's what we got going on right now. This is my son's 1981 Chevy Love pickup. He's working on that over on his channel. You guys go check it out, Low Love Life. And this is my daughter's, Me, Myself, and Darlene. Go check her YouTube channel out. We got the engine out of her Nissan hardbody, so don't be surprised if you don't catch her in the background tearing this engine down, getting it ready for a proper overhauling. Darlene looks so funny with the engine out. Look how it's all reared up in the front. It's ridiculous. That's damn near all the way back up to the factory height. I don't like it. As for this guy, he's been over here trying to sort out some wiring issues. So he's getting all of his lights and everything all working again, and he's going to get all that tidied up when he gets home from work. But as for now, he's getting kicked out. I'm going to see if I can't get the front end on that Fury done before he gets home. Then we can swap him out again and he can come in here and finish up what he's doing. It is definitely chilly outside today. I want to be in the shop for sure. Probably start this thing and drive it out. He's actually got it running, but he's got so much stuff unhooked. I think I'm just going to push it out and I ain't going to mess with it. God, why does everything seem so heavy these days? Ugh. Lord. Oh, there we go. Seems like there's always a dead battery involved in moving these things around. Let's get this on the charger, let it sit for a little while. And of course you can't leave out the flat tire, that's always a thing. Hopefully this will air up without us having to drag that jack out here. Let's see. Nope. Nope. We got to drag the jack out here. Awesome. Car's too damn low. I can't get a jack underneath it. His idea was to lower this thing anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna have to actually jack it up a little bit on the opposite side first, just to get it up high enough to get the jack underneath the side with the flat, right? All right, let's see if that gets us anywhere. Maybe we'll get lucky. We won't have to actually pull the wheel off and take it inside the shop to air it up. There we go, that's what we wanted to hear. Yeah, it could have been worse, right? Got the battery in it. Let's see if we can get a little cold start out of it. Finally, she's back in the shop. Let's get to work. Well, let's see what we can get done today. Thinking front end work. We've got inner and outer tie rod ends. We've got lower ball joints, upper ball joints, brake pads, and a bunch of control arm bushings. I figured that ought to keep us busy for a little while, right? Figure we'll start by getting it jacked up. I'll tell you what, this thing sure does roll a lot better on the concrete than it does on that old gravel. Been thinking about putting some off-road tires on the jack. All right, so that takes care of that.
What's up?
I'm gonna get started tearing this side down. I've already filmed this on the last Fury video, so I'll probably just kind of breeze right through this, and we'll pick up over on the other side. Well, I did manage to get it all tore back apart again. There's everything that's coming out of it, going to get replaced. All these bushings and the control arm, the ball joint, that's the upper. There's the lower. I thought that was cool that it actually bolts in, so we ain't got to press nothing in. We ain't got to grind any rivets off or any of that kind of stuff, so pretty easy. That ought to be a simple little install there. This one is weird because it has to have like a square socket that goes on it, so we'll have to probably get like a loaner tool. I don't have one of those. And then, of course, we all know the tie rod ends are fairly easy. We'll just unscrew the ends out of there and replace them. I think before I start all that, I want to kind of clean up the area. I want to get all this all cleaned up, go through, kind of scrape off some of this old nastiness. Maybe take a wire wheel to it, something like that. Get all that cleaned up. Maybe we'll dust a little black on there, make it look nice and clean, brand new, all that good stuff. We got a little surface rust over here, becoming nice to cover some of that up. So let's just get started. Well, we're making a little bit of progress. It looks a lot better than it did a few minutes ago. Did a little wire wheeling and a little bit of rust inhibitor. That's what we did. We sprayed a little rust inhibitor underneath there, and I think it looks way better. So it does take a few specialty tools to rebuild one of these upper control arms, partly because the ball joint, the upper ball joint, actually takes a special square socket. I don't got one of those, and I went to rent one down at the old loaner tool at the AutoZones, O'Reilly's. None of them had them either. Cheapest one I could find was like 50 bucks plus shipping. We ain't doing none of that. These actually unscrew right out of the control arm. So basically I just came up with the idea, why don't I just weld a socket to it? We're throwing the old ones away anyway, we don't care. So I just found an old junky Chinese socket out of the drawer and just welded it to it, saved myself a few bucks. It was actually really easy to do. All I'm gonna do is just clean off the rust here and then weld a socket to it. Now, if this goes as smoothly as the last one, it should just come right on out of there. Of course it's not going to go as smoothly as the last one. We're filming now. So that last one came out pretty easy with the impact, but this one's stuck in the hole. I'm gonna see if I can get it out this way. The only way I knew to actually hold it good was to put it back on the car, so I just kind of got it loosely in there. Let's see if I can break this loose. Man, that one is really in there. Maybe you should get behind me. Wow, broke the welds right off. Well, that first attempt was a fail, so let's just give it hell. Try it again. Okay, let's let it cool off for a little bit. All right, we got it all welded on. I bolted it in pretty good, that way it doesn't move. And I got some serious leverage on it this time. See if we can break it loose now. What'd it do? I didn't see it. Did it move? I think it moved. It had to have moved. Turn it this way now. I'll come around this way and see if we got enough room. I think we're moving now, y'all, ain't we? There we go. All right. Man, that one is in there. That one is definitely in there. We'll just keep working it like this till we get it out. All right. Eventually we'll get it to where we can put the impact on it and kind of finish it up is what I'm hoping. That's the plan anyway. This so far is working out. I had to really weld the crap out of it this time. Now that I've kind of got it worked up out of there just a little bit, let's try to add some more lube to it. I was spraying this from the bottom side and letting it soak for a little bit, and I think now that we can get some on the top side, we might actually really get somewhere. It is getting easier though. Did I say this was getting easier? I was hoping I could put the impact on it by now, but I don't think so, not yet. It's taken every bit of this entire jack handle. I tried doing it earlier with just half of it, and it's like, now it's getting easier. I wonder if we could try our luck with the impact now. It may not be ready just yet. Let's see. Oh, there we go. All right. That's still hot. Good grief. Okay, so now I could take the control arm back off, take it over to the workbench, and screw in the new ball joints. And I'm gonna go ahead and clean them up like I did the other side. You know, clean up all the parts, paint them, all that good stuff. I didn't know any other way to work with this. It needed so much leverage to pull that out than to just put it back into the car, because I didn't have a vise strong enough to hold it. No way. Yeah, I didn't have anything big enough to hold it vise-wise. It would have just probably spun the whole cabinet and everything, the whole workbench that the vise is attached to. So anyway, that worked out pretty good. So now I'm going to clean it up on my wire wheel. I get these from Harbor Freight. They're just a few bucks and they work great. We'll knock the rust off of there, and then we'll hit it up with some rust converter, and then we'll throw our new parts in it, and then we'll throw it back on the car. It covers all that rust up. I just kind of put it on there kind of liberally. Something like that. That ought to work. Smear a little bit of grease on here. See if we can't get one of these ball joints started. Now I have a wrench, a 2-inch wrench that fits on here really nice. It just wasn't good enough to get the old one out because it was so stuck, as you've seen just a minute ago. That was crazy. But it's good enough to screw this one back in, I'll bet you. So this actually works pretty good for putting it on, but it sure wasn't no good for getting it off, that's for sure. So yeah, I'll go ahead and crank this on down in here. We ought to be good to go. So here's my homemade puller, man. It's really simple, just a bolt and some washers, and then I just took a piece of pipe that fits right over the bushing, notched it out for the lip. They sell all of this. You can rent this kind of stuff from AutoZone, but it's really simple to make. So I usually just kind of the way I go here. So let's try this out. That's actually working. Cool. And there it is. We got it out, y'all. Check it out. Okay. You like this little contraption. This ought to work out all right. Let's get a little lube on there. All we're doing is tightening the bolt together, and we're pushing that bushing into this little piece of pipe here. Like that. Oh my God. That'll do it. One last thing to do. Got to put our little grease zerd in there. And after I install this in the car, I'm going to go ahead and crank this the rest of the way down. You can see we just got a few more turns to do, but I need it in the car, fastened in before I can finish that up, man. It's getting a little difficult, but there you go. Brand new bushings, brand new ball joint. This thing is ready to go back in the car. So now it's time for the lower ball joints. These ought to be a lot easier because they just unbolt and come right out. We got to get the rotor off of here so that we can put a wrench on the back side of those bolts that hold that ball joint on. It's kind of a ball joint assembly is what it seems like. It's kind of huge. It's a little bit of a process, but you know what? It's actually easier than all that other stuff. You know, pressing those bushings in and taking the old ones out and then turning around trying to screw that big old ball joint in that was went on the top control arm. That was a little bit of a chore, but that's all right. We're past all that, and now I think the rest of this is going to be a lot easier. Let's go ahead and get this off of here. Just like that, pretty easy, huh? So yeah, this is what we're after right here. We got to get back here, put a wrench on that so they don't just spin. Start by removing all these cotter pins. Then we can get these big old bolts out of here. Go through and chisel some of this out of here before I can even fit my socket on there. Pretty dirty. I can't wait to clean all this up. Get some more of that rust converter on there. Make all this stuff look really nice. Let's get our wrench on the back side of there. Come around here on the front side. Get on there. I thought I chiseled that out better than that. There we go. There's one down. There's the other. All right, now finally. It's not completely wore out, but the boot and everything, you know, I might as well go and replace it. Normally they're just kind of flopping around, but it has a little bit of resistance to it. But yeah, that boot is trash. Some more chiseling to do. This stuff really builds up under there. Got everything all cleaned up. Got my ball joints out. Got to figure out which one is which. There is a right and a left. That has an R on it. That has an R on it too, though. Let's see. I guess we'll just match it up to the old one. What did I do with the old one? I'll just bring it over here and match it up to the old one. I believe we got the right one. Give it a quick little coat of rust converter, since we got all the grease and stuff off of it now. Man, I love how this is coming together. Everything looks all nice and new and degreased. That's the best part. I think I'm gonna move on to some tie rod ends, get these all cleaned up so we can get them installed. Same thing, man. We're just gonna go wire wheel, get all this crud off of here because I could barely even get the wrenches on any of this stuff. It's so bad. Looks like there ain't but about 3 or 4 threads on the end of there, so just kind of pay attention to stuff like that so that you can screw the new part down in there and have it be kind of in the same ballpark, and that'll get you down to the old alignment shop at least. That way you can get down to the alignment shop without chewing your tires off. This one's going to get brand new tires, so I want it to be at least close, because we're quite a ways away from the city where we're going to get this thing lined up professionally, you know. So here is that one. We'll get this one screwed down in there now. And we basically want to go just about all the way, minus maybe about 3 or 4 threads. Let's move on to the next one here. I'm glad these are coming out so easy. I mean, I didn't have to fight with them at all. Pretty thankful for that. Where's my other one? Here we go. All right, easy enough. And again, same as the front. Only about 3 or 4 threads sticking out. Right there. We'll kind of snug these up just a little bit, just in case we need to kind of turn them just a little bit to get them in, you know, to get them to line up, and then that's good for now. So after a fresh coat of paint, we can go ahead and throw on the old ball joint. Got the bolts in, got our new cotter pins going in right now. Just gonna try my luck at putting these in. There we go. Get my bolt holes all lined up, got to be good to go. I'm going to install this stuff real loose at first, you know, not tighten anything until everything's in place. That'll give us a little bit of wiggle room when we're putting the rest of these parts in case we need it. Now that we got this back into the car, I'm going to use the car as a clamping device to kind of hold this thing while I crank this on here with my big old wrench. It seems to be the best way that I could come up with anyway. Let's not forget this guy right here. Alright. Well, this thing sure turned out pretty nice. A lot better than it was when we pulled it off there. It's so nasty we couldn't even get the wrenches or the sockets or anything on the bolts to take it apart. We had to chisel them out. But here we go. Man, this is starting to take shape now. Let's get this part up here. We'll have to jack this up. But yeah, I'm digging it. Nice. We can go ahead and snug all this up now that we got all our pieces in. Put our cotter pins in too. Man, that feels nice, y'all. Nice and new. Let's get our tie rod in next. get our cotter pin installed. Let's tighten up the rest of this now. Time to lock it down. Put the grease dirt in the bottom here. I was kind of waiting to do that at the end because I didn't want to take any chances on messing it up. Let's clean this guy up a little bit. Go ahead and clean up this bearing race and inspect it. Feel it, make sure it's smooth and doesn't have any really bad pitting or marks or anything in it. I don't see anything wrong with it. No gouges or nothing. It's perfectly smooth. I've already packed my bearing full of grease. We're good to go. Let's slip it on there. Had the cap and the nut and everything soaking in the cleaner. We can clean all the old grease and everything out of it. I think it's ready to go on now. Smear a little grease up in here. Nice and messy, you gotta love it, right? Let's see, let's get a nut put on there. Got a little bit of drag on it, just a little bit. Feels pretty good right there. Throw this guy on there. And I gotta find me a cotter pin. I got a whole assortment of them here, man. These things come in really handy. Check this out. Let's see, what do you think, man? Probably this big guy, huh? Okay. It's time to put the brakes back together, and I bought brand new brake pads too. So that ought to be nice. Let's see, this actually got to go through here. I'm going to have to squeeze the caliper down just a little bit. It's too far out. These new pads are obviously going to be thicker than the old ones that are coming off of it, so in order to fit those on there, we're going to have to push this back in just a little bit. Get it towards about even with the rubber, you know. That ought to be enough to get it. Let's see. I guess that's about all we're going to get. Pull this back out of here. Now we should be able to fit our pads in here. They go in pretty simple, just like so. On there. I'm trying to keep my greasy fingers off of everything. I'm not touching the actual surface of the pads. I'm trying to touch the metal edges. So once you get that down on there, you could take pins and put them back through. Got our pins, everything's all lined up. That pin goes all the way through and it holds the pads on inside of there, and it holds this whole caliper and everything on. Once you've got all that fish through there, you come through and you tighten these up. And you should be good to go after that. Just finishing up, tightening up the control arms. That's really about it. We got to go over and repeat the same process over on the other side. Obviously, you guys are probably noticing we don't have the shock yet, and we'll have to go back and take some of this apart when the shock gets here, but it's not a big deal. All we got to do is undo this one bolt to separate the control arm, the upper control arm, from the spindle, and then you just kind of snake that thing up in there, and it attaches right up here. So, not a big deal. One extra bolt, but at least everything that we have is all installed. And we'll jump over, we'll do the other side, but I just wanted to show you guys. Now obviously we got to go back and grease everything, you don't want to forget that. So I know I'm going to get all kind of comments, hey, you didn't grease your stuff. Don't worry, we're going to do all of that. So this is about as far as we're going to go with the front end. I do want to put some sway bar bushings in it, and then later on we're going to come back and do some upgrades and things like that. But this is just to get this car back on the road and reliable, and I think we're on the right track. We're going to have some nice front end parts. We should be able to get this thing aligned really good, and it's got new brakes all the way around. It's going to have new shocks all the way around, and now we've got new steering components, bushings, pads, everything, man. We're good to go, I think. Definitely off to a good start anyway. Hey, I want to thank everybody for watching. I know this isn't exactly the most exciting thing, you know, just doing some front end work on an old car. But as time goes by, the channel gets doing a little better and better, growing more and more. We'll start doing more exciting things, maybe some high performance, this or that, you know. But anyway, those of you that are watching, following this build along, watching all these old boring build videos, I do appreciate it. I want to wish all of you guys a happy new year. I hope 2023 is better than 2022 for each and every one of you. I want to take a second to thank everybody that's been sending stuff our way. Everything from lighting to supplies, everything from tools, snacks, stickers, you name it's been coming our way. And I really do appreciate it, you guys. I never dreamt that this would be a thing. Man, I finally managed to get my seat in there out of harm's way. Still got to bolt it down, but at least it's in there and it's not out here floating around getting dirty or stuff sat on it or something. I think we worked hard enough on that one. We don't want nothing to happen to it. Hey y'all, how y'all like the new shirt, man? Check it out. That's a sweet ride, man. Go check out Cold War Motors. I'm sure pretty much everybody watching already knows who that is. But yeah, man, if you don't, go check out Cold War Motors. This guy, he specializes in all these old cars, especially Mopars. And he shouted me out over there on his channel. I thought that was cool, so I figured I would shout him out over here. And pick me up one of these sweet shirts while I was at it. That's one of his Mopar projects he's got going on over on his channel, man. And that guy, he's done forgot more stuff than I'll ever know. So I'm honored that he's over there mentioning me on his channel. And damn sure don't mind mentioning him over here. So go check him out if you haven't already. And hit the subscribe button while you're over there. Oh, look like she got a little work done over here while we wasn't looking. If you guys ain't been over there on her channel, me, myself, and Darlene, you're missing out, man. We've got a lot of work going on over there. As you can see, we've been pulling motors and all kinds of stuff. So anyway, go check it out, man. That is a really good project. We're having a lot of fun over there getting that truck all straightened out. We don't know what happened to it. For some reason, it just lost compression. And we're just gonna build it. Just fix it all the way through. Why not? So anyway, man, I'm going to go ahead and get on out here, you guys. I do appreciate everybody watching, just like I said. Please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Go in and check, make sure that you're subscribed. Just because you think you are doesn't mean you are. YouTube's bad about unsubscribing you to channels. I don't know why they do that. But anyway, go check. If you would, I'd appreciate it. But as for now, we are out of here, man. I will see you guys later.